Okay, let's just start something first. Let's take a few deep breaths, okay? And this is going to center us a little bit and bring us in after the adventure of trying to go into our breakout rooms. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to breathe 7 times 7. So this is how we do it. So you breathe in 7 counts, and you're free to count like long 7 or short 7. It doesn't have to be exact seconds. So breathe in, count 7, and then hold for 7, and then breathe out for 7, and then out for 7. Is that clear, everybody? Let's do that. So just breathe in, then hold, breathe out, and then hold. You can do your own pace, okay? So let me just repeat that one more time. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, and hold. Okay, let's do this 3 times on your own. Okay. So tell me how you're feeling right now. Give me a thumbs up if it makes you feel a little bit better and more relaxed. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, see, I can do that too. I think you can activate your emoji, and then if you do that, then you will see all this emoji playing out. Okay, so today we are going to have 3 topics. We will practice after each one and then we do the group debrief where you would be sharing about what you practice. But we'll do that later on. And there would be no wrong answers. Whatever we do, only honest ones. And then this is also going to be quite interactive. If you have any question, you write in the chat and the chat manager will alert me to that so that we will see if that is relevant. We will get the answer right here. Okay, ready. Good time to start right now. So I want to start with the question. Think of the time when someone truly listened to you, like truly heard, not just waiting for their turn to talk or not interrupting. And the most important thing, being truly listened to means that you feel heard. Okay, so think about that, what changed, and then you can write in the chat, what did you experience when you felt truly heard? What changed for you? Safety and deeper presence from Remington. Yes. Can you just elaborate that a little bit, Remington? Because like safety is like, how does that feel, or deeper presence, so that just to understand that, I don't know, I think you're probably an English speaker. Here, most of us are non-native speaker. So we would like to hear a little bit more on that. And more connected, open to share and exploring, feeling loved. Yes. Ooh, I feel safe to be vulnerable, feel respected, my point of view matters, there's empowerment, there is connection. Yeah, you feel that you matter, right? When you feel truly heard, you feel that you matter and you feel safe just to speak freely, hopefully. Okay, ooh, there's some Mandarin as well. Okay, Beautiful. Yes, I would like to hear actually from maybe two of you just to say it in like anyone. Okay, maybe I just like Remington, since you started it, unmute and just express that. How was it for you when you felt truly heard?
It's empowering because it's a safe space to like embody your true like nature essence without being judged. You can really like speak forth from your heart versus trying to perform.
Yes. So how often did you feel this? Like, free, not feeling judged, and you just can speak from your heart. How often do you experience this, Remington?
Um, that's a good question.
I have
Um,
I have a guess. Not very often.
I wasn't gonna say that actually.
No, you're not gonna say that. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you're very lucky then. Yeah, because most people don't often feel truly heard. Everybody's just busy, or they feel like they're expected to say something, or not feel like they have the time or they have the freedom just to be and just to express. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. Remington. Remington Steele. Okay, let me ask somebody else. Let's ask Johanna. Would you like to share, Johanna? Yeah, we can change the spotlight, please.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So uh, I used to experience to be hurt by somebody in the world that not a lot of people can hurt properly, and I feel safe for myself to share more about myself. Sometimes I also feel validated, like my emotion is like real, and I feel hurt. It makes me feel relief because if you share about something emotional, maybe there are other people hear you and like say they validate your emotion and like make me feel like it's normal to have emotion as a human being.
Yeah. So it's okay to feel your emotion. That's what you
Okay.
got, right? Okay, beautiful. All right. So thank you, Joanna. Johanna. I think I've seen you. You came to Bali Trainers and Coaches, right? Is that right?
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. So yeah, Rodney's experience of, I don't know whether it's going to be truly heard, but for me, I've taught thousands of people in listening, and generally I can say there are five, either five people that can truly make you feel heard, or maybe five occasions, or maybe even none. I've met people who never felt truly heard. So this is something that is very important for us to understand, and for to us to appreciate, because as a mentor, we're going to be listening. We're going to be listening a lot, and it would be, if we can just understand that, well, maybe they've never felt heard, or maybe they seldom feel heard. So we don't need to know that, but what we need to do is make them feel heard, because that is the biggest gift that you give anyone, right? The feeling heard, it makes you, usually when one feels heard, you feel happy, you feel excited, you feel like you're important, you feel matter, you feel relief, and just something changed inside. It's chemically, it's alchemically. So something happens when you truly heard. All right. So now, we are, as a mentor, we don't give advice. And in fact, like, I'm a certified coach with ICF. At the very highest level, coaches only ask questions. And that's how they generate transformation, not by telling people what to do or leading them, but just by asking questions and listening. And a powerful listening, you don't need to be smart. You just listen. You will already give somebody a healing or an experience that would change them inwardly. Yeah, we will do the questioning as well for the next session. So that is the three, over these 3 sessions, you will be learning the skills that will transform not just your Toastmasters experience, but your life. Isn't that exciting? Let me know if you're excited about that and you want to know, learn how to listen truly, or feeling inspired now to want to listen. Okay. And all right. Thank you, Refi. I know some of you came here for the award. Is it LLA, right? What is it? Learning Legend Award from District 87. So that's fine. I'm glad you're here, but I invite you to be curious. What if these 3 sessions give you something far more valuable than your awards? What if they give you skills that can change how you show up in the world? It's a possibility. All right. Okay. So let's find out. Okay. So we already said that listening is very important. While listening is a foundation. And when someone truly listens to you, 3 things usually happen automatically. You feel safe to be honest. You think more clearly because you're speaking out loud. And often you find your own answer. So I've seen this many, many times. And even for myself, when I felt like I can just speak, I find like, oh, okay, now I know what to do. I don't need someone else to tell me what to do. And I've seen people, the joy and the empowerment that they experience when they discover, ooh, now I know what I did wrong or why I could do better or what I would do now. Yeah, so this will happen. So as a mentor, your job is not to fix, to advise, or to solve. Just let me remind you, repeat that. So your job as a mentor, not to fix, not to solve, and not to give advice. And this also goes with speech mentoring. Look into that later, because even in speech mentoring, you can mentor, you can help people by asking questions rather than telling them what they should do. All right. And hopefully you will remove the word should when you're mentoring. Never say you should do this or should do that. Okay. Never let anyone tell you what you should do or shouldn't do. All right. So listening is how you can create space, and your job is to create that space. So these 5 skills, I will like to, there are 5 skills. So I hope you're all looking at your handbook, because pretty much what I'm sharing in that handbook, so that it's easy for you to follow. Right, presence. Okay, let's start with these 5 skills. Presence. And Gusti, if you haven't, you can also share the handbook again if you
Yeah.
have it with you. Yeah, just in case
Okay,
somebody have it,
box.
something. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now presence. Presence, I'm sure you know, don't listen to don't fiddle with your phone while you're listening. Don't uh like like keep the eye contact and all of that. So let me just take you back to your experience being truly heard. Remember when you were truly heard? I want you to just take a moment to remember that experience again, the last time or the times that you had truly heard, and imagine the person who was making you feel truly heard, your listener. What do they do? Okay, I'll give you a moment to reflect on that, and I'm going to ask you, and you can also write in the chat, what did they do? What did your listener do? Smile at me like you are smiling at me now. Thank you, Shirley. And Patricia, your answer picked me. You said she abandoned me. What does that mean? Your listener abandoned you. Would you like to share, Patricia?
Um, um, she wouldn't listen to me, and then as much as possible, she also tried to avoid me. So at first I was very hurt, but then to me life is much more into positive things. So I don't want to hurt myself. So I want to have a happy life. There are so many
Okay.
other people that we talk with.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrice. Let me ask you this question though. Is this the person that made you feel truly heard? Heard, not as in H-U-R-T, okay? Feeling heard, not heard. Is this the person that made you feel heard, or a person that hurt you, Patsy?
Both.
Wow. So this person makes you feel
She
truly
made
heard, and then
Yes.
she left you, she abandoned you.
Yes.
Wow, that is interesting. Okay, we probably won't have time to go into
Yeah.
very deep to that, but let's put that on what do you call it? On the shelf. I'd like to know more about that, yeah? Okay, so here's from Leah. Use eye contact, mirror my action, gesture, and ask me well-formed questions which help me figure out what I want or choose to do. Okay, and then the another one from Remington, eye contact, nodding the head, didn't interrupt me, mid-sentence pausing before answering a thought. Yes, for me, that usually works better. Yeah, so eye contact, nodding, sometimes leaning a bit forward, and just say, okay, I see, or maybe tell me more, and not asking any question, not because asking any a question could derail you. Let's say you're talking about something, and then somebody said, "What about that?" Now you have to serve that person, yeah, the asker. You have to answer them, so you have to change your train of thought to satisfy the other person, and the end doesn't really allow you to really feel heard because you still have being interrupted in that way. So if yeah, I would like to look into that. Remember the eye contact, the nodding, leaning forward, didn't interrupt in mid-sentence, don't even ask questions, and pausing before answering a thought. Okay, that's a later part, but just for the listening part, just listen. And the best way is just to listen, like there's enough people in this world, or most people in this world, they don't feel truly heard. So if you could just give this gift of listening, you would make a difference in their lives already. Just listen, right? Okay, so presence, closing everything, phone away, and then silence. Okay, silence could be challenging sometimes because we want to fill in. And later on, when you are practicing listening, I want you to pay attention when you have thoughts in your head. Yeah, in your head, and you just want to answer something. So I'm just going to go back to the presence. So presence, it's not just the physical part, but mentally more than anything. So you are not daydreaming. You're not thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner. You're not thinking like, oh, I know the answer to this, or they shouldn't be saying that, like that. So that is the presence. You want to keep that away. And whenever you notice that you're actually thinking or judging or daydreaming, you just bring your focus back to the person who's speaking in front of you, listening word per word per word. This is like meditation. So if you're into meditation or mindfulness, listening is one of the best meditation you could do, right? So and when you get into the flow of it, just listening with word come word, then it would you become curious. So the third skill is about curiosity. When you're fully present, you're actually curious about what is the next word that's going to come out. And you're not thinking like, oh, okay, I already know. Yeah, she's probably just going to say this or that. Just catch yourself, because that is not true, right? And try to be open and not judging or not assuming you know. Then you would really enjoy the listening, because you could just relax. You could just relax. You have to think about it, and in that relaxation, you can actually give the person the feeling of being heard, truly heard. All right. So what you heard before adding anything, okay. This reflection part, when you do the practice, there's gonna part of this reflection. So practice saying, what I'm hearing is, whenever you talk to somebody, whenever somebody's talking to you, before you answer, always say, okay, this is what I'm hearing. I just want to see if I understand this, right? And here it says, and then it sounds like you're wanting to say this, or you're trying to say this, and then end it with like, is that right, or did I? Okay, so that's something that you want to check. So the first one is presence, silence, curiosity, and reflection, and then the fifth one is attention to the whole message. So not just listening to the words, but the feeling, the energy. Sometimes somebody may say, I was so sad. Like my partner just left me all the time. That looks weird, right? So you may catch that and see, there's something not quite aligned here. And you may want to check that, and you can be truthful about that. I notice you talking about being left, but like your energy shifted, or you seem very happy about it. So tell me more. So you don't judge, you just say what you observe, and then you check with them. Okay. All right. So now the barriers. What gets in the way of listening? Raise your hand or write in the chat if you ever think about the solution right away when you're listening to something. I see some smiles, and there is also a hand raised. Okay, the hand raised, yes, it's very common, right? You automatically go into the thinking, okay, we should solve that. Yes, that is our reflect. But when we start thinking, we actually losing our connection, because and something that I found, that listening, you cannot multitask. If you're multitasking while listening and thinking about something else, you're not going to listen in the way that would make the other person feels heard. You know why? Because energy is real. If you're not focused, if you're not really listening, the other person knows. And how do we know that? Have you ever been talking to somebody and then you're not listening to that person? Have you ever said that to somebody who's listening to you? Not if you have. And they say, no, I'm listening. I know you're saying about this, that. And they probably can quote you ad verbatim, but you still don't feel heard. Anybody ever experienced that? Because they're not truly listening. Your experience, you don't, like the energy doesn't lie. So if you're not really listening and you multitasking and thinking about other things, you will the other person will feel it. And I have another experience where somebody, usually after my training, like the first day, then I would ask them to practice outside the training with anybody. And some people say, well, I don't have anyone to practice with. I said, you can call somebody, okay? Call somebody. And calling is like, you think, well, they don't see me, right? So I can do something, I can walk around or this or that. And then you think they would not know. Trust me, they would. They would feel that. They would feel that you're just not there with them. And so when you're calling and you want to practice listening, you don't look at anything else. You imagine that person and you're talking, and I guarantee you, they will feel heard. Okay. All right. So now the I've been there story. I've been there story. Okay, yes, Jason, if somebody doesn't listen to you, don't waste your time, okay? Now, the second barrier, the I've been there story. Have you been with someone you're telling like, oh, I went to Bali last week and it was really fun. And the listener said, oh, yeah, I went to Bali 2 years ago. And then I did this and this and this and that. Or my cousin went to Bali and they told me this and this and that. Have you ever experienced that? You start to share your story and then the partner, your listening partner, just goes off and then share their own story. Give me a nod or a thumbs up if you had experienced that. Yes, I would be curious to see if anyone who never experiencing that. Most of the time that happens, right? And that doesn't feel good, does it? You're excited, you want to share, and then the other person just steal your thunder and go away with it, and then just start talking about themselves and no longer with you. Okay, so that is a listening barrier. So I used to be like that. I used to be so bad with that. And people, some of my teachers would tell me, like, okay, you're not listening. And then when I did that again, they said, okay, you did that again. So I learned the hard way with the I've been there story. Just couldn't wait to express myself. But that would make people, they will actually feel hurt sometimes, or they feel like, okay, like what Jensen saying, never mind, forget it. Yes, yeah, most people would be guilty on doing that. So if you ever done that, don't worry, it's you're not alone. All right. And then assumptions is like, oh, okay, I know what they're going to talk about, and you already answer before they finish because they assume. Okay, disclaimer, sometimes when I'm coaching or when I'm teaching, if I see somebody going off track, then I may have to interrupt. But in general, please don't make an assumption, okay? Don't assume that go and stop listening or just like checking out. All right. So that is one of the the barrier. And then the time pressure. Oh, I don't have much time. I have to rush. And imagine if you're speaking and somebody said, okay, I have to go. I have to, like 5 minutes. Now you're not going to enjoy speaking, right? You feel like, okay, I have to rush. And if you already have anxiety about that, you probably cannot express all that you want to express. And then you're left with feeling like it's not complete. Okay. Which one is more like you? Keep that in mind when you practice. If any of your barriers show up, and just notice, oh, okay, let me just focus back. That's all. Don't blame yourself. Don't get hard on yourself. Just say, okay, let me listen some more. All right. Any question up to that point? Because we're going to go into the buddy practice round one. Okay, let's move on. Now, this is what you're going to do during the practice. Okay, you are going to go to you're going to listen to each other, 2 minutes each person, and then you switch. Gusti will give you the cue, or I will give you the cue in the broadcast message. And so when you listen, imagine the person that listen well to you, that makes you feel truly heard. So eye contact, they nod, and then they maybe lean a bit forward. Just be very present. Be very present there. Be curious and have the intention for the next few minutes, next 2 minutes, I'm going to be truly listening. Nothing is going on inside me, nothing else. Okay. So, and then the speaker, yeah, just enjoy that. Enjoy having somebody truly listening to you. And then for 2 minutes, you're going to switch after that. Okay. And no advice, no interrupting, no, I've been there, just listening. And then after you both listen for 2 minutes to each other, then you would do a reflection for 1 minute. And you say, this is what I'm hearing. this is what I'm understanding. Da, da, da. And then, did I get it right? Yeah. They may say, yes, but, and it's okay. Yeah. Even in coaching, even if you're not 100% correct in reflecting back, they feel hurt because you're trying. Yeah. And sometimes in your reflection, some part is correct and some part is not, because, and that is totally normal, because we are interpreting, we are listening, and we're interpreting using all the filters we have in our life, maybe our belief, maybe our experience, so maybe we're guessing. So don't worry. But the act of reflecting back usually make a person feel hurt. They feel that you're giving them attention. Okay. And then yeah, so just that. And then you come back to the main room, and then after the main room, this is where you're going to go to the G room, the G1, G2, G3, G4. I think I probably would just ask Gusti to assign people to go to their rooms, unless you already know what your G room is. G room is the room with the facilitator. In that room, the G1, G2 to G6, in those rooms, you will be sharing your experience, how it felt to be heard, how it felt to be a listener, and you just have a space. I mean, I would have loved to listen to you in life, like, but we just don't have enough time and space for that. So that's why we create the facilitators rooms, where you would be sharing and the facilitator will. Yeah. Okay. So the first question is, you can choose between what is your favorite movie, what is your favorite book, or what is your favorite travel destination, because I know most of you like to travel, right? And to make it quicker so that you don't say, okay, who's going to be first? Who's going to be first? We just say, I think I'm younger than you, and just start speaking, okay? And hopefully that would make it easier. That is Gusti's suggestion, by the way. Okay, any question? So for now, room 1 to 20 according to your list, and then start practicing. Gusti will give the cue. Yeah, Gusti will give the cue. Start. Person A starts. Person B, listen. And then when 2 minutes is up, there'll be a cue again. Your 2 minutes is up. Now switch. Person B speaks, person A listens. Any question up to that point? Okay, if not, then everyone can go to their rooms.